The Secretary of State has given some 90 interviews or briefings in the past month alone, and a central theme in all of them has been the accusation that China is intentionally covering up the origins of the coronavirus and the timeline of the spread of infection.
The most important piece here is that the American people remain at risk. The American people remain at risk because we do not know, to your point, we don't have certainty about whether it began in the lab or whether it began someplace else.
The country's foremost virologist is adamant the virus did not begin in a laboratory. Dr. Anthony Fauci has stated repeatedly that all scientific evidence points to the microbe originating in a mammal like a bat and jumping between species. But President Trump, like his Secretary of State, continues to push back on the science and references the pandemic as an attack.
This is really the worst attack we've ever had. This is worse than Pearl Harbor. This is worse than the World Trade Center. There's never been an attack like this. And it should have never happened. Could have been stopped at the source. Could have been stopped in China. It should have been stopped right at the source. And it wasn't. Okay.
And the criticism of China is echoed by the press secretary, indicating this is an administration-wide strategy.
Right now, it's a relationship of disappointment and frustration because the president has said how frustrated he is that some of the decisions of China put American lives at risk.
The question is, why is there such a concerted push against China at this time? President Trump's anti-China rhetoric began to ramp up a week ago following a meeting with his campaign manager, Brad Parscale. The possibility is that the president's been persuaded that China bashing is an effective election strategy that would delight his political base. It was just a few weeks ago that President Trump was describing the Chinese leader as his very good friend. Now, for whatever reason, it's a relationship that is very much at risk. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.